Every day, new words are being invented, whether it's a new tech term, a piece of slang, or a groundbreaking discovery. But before anything else, these new things need a name, and that name sticks with us, shaping the way we talk about it from then on. Computers used to be a term for people, mainly women, who did calculations by hand. Later on, computers were machines that ran much larger calculations, becoming the multifaceted device we know today, with the same name as the job it replaced. Because of our modern age connectivity and the internet, when a new word is made, news of it spreads far and wide and is quickly adapted to different languages. Many new words, computer, video, camera, internet, are cognates. Cognates are words with the same origin in different languages. These words have the same or similar meanings and are very similar, if not identical, in spelling and pronunciation. The word hacker is nearly the same in many languages across the globe. Cognates are especially common in English and Spanish, with 20,000 of them. Cameras are cámaras, computers are computadoras, and telephones are teléfonos. However, you would be hard-pressed to find anyone in English or Spanish who use the words telephone or teléfonos, respectively. In English, just phone is used, although cell or mobile might be said. In Latin Spanish, it's more common to hear celular than teléfono, and in European Spanish, móvil is more common. But why? Why are celular and móvil so different from phone when so many modern words in English and Spanish are practically identical? The modern word telephone, as English speakers know it, is derived from ancient Greek. Tele means far, and phone means sound voice. But the word is long and bloated, so in a process called clipping, where syllables are dropped to make words quicker and easier, telephone simply became phone. Looking at all the iterations of phones over the years, telephone, radiophone, cell phone, smartphone, what is the most common denominator? Just phone. It's not unheard of to use the term cell in the US or the term mobile in the UK. Mobile? I don't know, I don't speak British. But in my experience, the vast majority use phone on both sides of the pond. That's how telephone became phone, quick and simple. But where does celular and móvil come from? It's important to note that mobile phones and cellular phones are not the same. Mobile phones came before cell phones. Cellular phones use a cellular network, hence the name. But phones were mobile before then. Radio phones and satellite phones and car phones could be moved around and were mobile, but not cellular. Pre-cellular phones existed in the US, but they weren't very good. AT&T themselves said that during 1946, the service was far from commonplace. Even as late as 1965, people in New York still had to wait 30 minutes for a call. While mobile phones were just getting started in the US, Europe, particularly Sweden, was already making strides. Sweden introduced its mobile system in 1955, at a max of around 20,000 users. It set the stage for what was to come. Other European countries like the UK and Spain followed, even if their systems were smaller and more limited. But here's the key. While the technology wasn't necessarily better, Europe was using it. It's around this time where we began to see the split, as Europe began to have widespread mobile phones, and so it began to sell commercial mobile services, which means ads. This is a magazine from the UK in 1971, writing about and selling all sorts of technical stuff, including mobile phones. This also shows that the UK was giving these mobile phones to ambulances and taxi drivers, so even if you didn't have a phone, you probably knew someone who did. The idea of a cellular network was thought up before it was invented, but unless you were a turbo nerd in the 1960s, you probably didn't know about it. What this means is that the idea of mobile phones was beginning to spread, while cellular was unheard of. The word cellular doesn't even appear in this at all. The first real cell phone call was in 1973 by Martin Cooper in New York, 2 years after the magazine.
And I dialed his number, and amazingly, he answered, not his secretary. And I said, "Hi, Joel, it's Marty Cooper." He said, "Hi, Marty." Very polite. And I said, "Joel, I'm calling you on a cell phone, but a real cell phone, a personal, handheld, portable cell phone." Silence on the other end of the line.
And it was a few years later that the cellular network was tested and then publicly released in Chicago in 1983. While Europe, specifically Spain, were technically ahead, Spain launched its system a year earlier, the amount that had changed made the difference. The US had a much bigger switch to cellular. By 1991, Spain had 108,000 cellular subscribers, while the US had over 7.5 million. While the US had a much larger population, the numbers tell a clear story. Only about 1% of Europeans were using cellular services, compared to the nearly 3% of Americans. The US was clearly making a faster leap into cellular technology. The spread of cellular technology in Latin America didn't take off until the 1990s, largely due to the influence of companies like Telefónica, which had established a strong presence in Spain, but didn't expand into Latin America until the 1990s, when cellular phones were the norm. By the time cellular phones became widespread in the UK, terms like teléfono móvil and mobile telephone had already been cemented in everyday use. In fact, the UK didn't see the first cell phone until 1985, long after other countries had begun adopting them. The slow pace of adoption in these regions contributed to the unique term still used today. We can actually see this difference through the advertisements of the 90s and 80s, where phone ads were everywhere. Notice the use of, or the lack thereof, the word cellular.
2 more great reasons to come to Highland Superstores by Saturday. 1. This Nokia Mobera portable cellular phone is just $5.95. 2. You can impress your friends by telling them it costs a lot more.
Now the telephone has evolved into the Vodafone. There's nothing unusual about seeing phones on the road. On lakes and rivers, they're an everyday occurrence. And in the middle of nowhere, a Vodafone hardly rates a second glance. Mind you, they're not about talking to old-fashioned phones. As more Vodafones appear, we can only wonder whether the telephone is an endangered species. If you'd like to be in when you're out, ring the local Vodafone.
In the Spanish-speaking world, you had 2 options: teléfono móvil, or mobile telephone, used in Spain, and teléfono celular in Latin America. Again, these terms are bloated. The original word teléfono was already an awkward fit. Because Spanish is derived from Latin and not Greek, the PH spelling from the English word had to be changed, and the O was added so it fit grammatical gender. It made much more sense to simply refer to the device by its adjective, móvil or celular. It's not unheard of for an American to refer to their phone as a cell, or a British person as a mobile, which is the same as their Spanish-speaking counterparts. The thing is, though, is it's been a while since I heard anyone use the word cell instead of phone, and from this engram for British books, the same is true in the UK. So in English, at least, there's a consensus on a universal word for a small portable device that can make calls. And while the differences in nomenclature is much greater in Spanish, some might argue that these differences are starting to blur, or at least people are recognizing that the 2 terms essentially refer to the same thing. With the rise of the internet and global communication, languages are becoming more homogenized. Remember, these words were coined at different times due to the difference in rate at which the technology spread in its respective region. Yet eventually, English came to a consensus. I like to think that all people are people all around the world, so they would have agreed on the terms had the technology developed the same way. The reason for the differences isn't just because people are different or because it just happened, it's because the technology developed differently. People will call things by whatever is easiest and makes the most sense. And for that time, at that place, móvil or celular made sense. Just like how now, phone makes more sense than either cell or mobile.
Mr. Telephone Man, there's something wrong with my line. When I dial my baby's number, I get a click every time. Mr. Telephone Man, there's something wrong with my line. When I dial my baby's number, I get a click every time. When I dial...
Oh, fuck it.
Where you going, dude?
Going home, Donnie.
Phone's ringing, dude.
Thank you, Donnie.